Well, that's what $300 worth of steel tubing, a bunch of welding wire, and a whole lot of frustration looks like. Hey, good morning, or afternoon, or whatever, depending on where you are, what time of day you're watching this, etc., so on and so forth. Today is Wednesday here. It is, I got up late, very late this morning, very late. Look at this, look what time it is. Is that crazy? We're looking at it backwards, which is really weird. That's really screwing me up, but I think that says it's 5:45. So, got up late, slept in, and ready to get to work. So today's goal is finish these frame rails, get them trimmed and welded, get them fish plated, finish out welding this stuff, get all of this crap removed, start thinking about where pedals are going to go, because that is not a good place. I might see if I can disassemble these Willwood pedals and flip them and go under the floor with them again, although there's not going to be much real estate there because I'm still planning on putting the radiator right here and going to cut in and sink the winch into the front right there. So not real sure how that's going to pan out. Once the frame is done and I can get the engine mocked up in place, which a lot more room for an engine in here. Feeling good about that as far as space goes. Once all that's in here, I can get the radiator mocked up, figure out what I'm going to use for a radiator, but it's going to go up here someplace for sure. Just I don't want to run mile-long cooling lines. I'm going to have a lot of stuff here, and the back I want to keep open for cargo. So, Synchro van again, stuff like that, had radiators up here, so it's totally doable. Just have to do some engineering to make it happen. I do not want to put one on the nose because I think that looks tacky. So, anyhow, enough thinking ahead. That's stupid. Never think ahead. Just jump in. And so, let's finish these frame rails out. Well, all that stuff is gone. Everything came out pretty easy. It was one unit. Lucky, because I need that steering box for the double cab. And I might try my hand at restoring that steering wheel. It's beat to death, but everything's there, so maybe I'll try to see what I can do to restore it. Had to cut more than I would like on the nose. Yes, I know it's ugly, but I do have the sheet metal. I can peel that back apart and rebuild that once the frame is in, but that's how far up everything came and was all together. The only way around that would be to take off the whole nose skin, and I'm not going to do that. So that's where we're at. So now I can fabricate the drop downs, the rails out the front, and the actual frame process will be all one piece, which would be pretty awesome. And we have a completed mocked up chassis. So everything's tacked and squared and level after a whole lot of trimming and folding, and if I'd been smart I would have built a jig, but I'm not smart, so I didn't do that. So some fit up issues, but whatever. And finally run out the front. I decided to bring the front rails out all the way. I'll just have to outboard the springs out there, but otherwise they were going to be too wide coming through the nose and would be funky to try to hook a bumper to. Also, I want to keep this wide, or keep this kind of set up so I can fit a winch and everything in there. So hopefully I didn't screw myself, but I think I'll be all right. But from a standpoint of the bumper or the front rails being all the way out here, I thought it would be easier to put them there. So it is what it is. I might not burn them in all the way yet until I try to set springs just to be safe, because I don't want to cut them back out if they aren't going to work. But for right now, that's where they're staying. So go ahead and weld this out a little more permanently so everything stays square, and then maybe, just maybe, roll this thing back and see if I can set the engine down in here so I can start designing and making engine mounts. I don't know if it'll drop down low enough with that bar on the rack, so we'll see what we end up with. But as of right now, at least there's a chassis. Oh, this is an interesting thing to find in the road. That's sort of ironic. Ho-ho. Ho-ho. UPS just showed up with a box that I've been waiting on for a month. Hopefully it's what I actually ordered. Let's cut open and find out. There it is. I bought this, I think September 2nd on eBay. And it finally just showed up today, which is the 25th or 26th, something like that. They told me that it was being gone through, which I'm not sure what there was to go through on it, but it does appear to work. So this is a Jeep Dana 20 transfer case. I picked this particular transfer case because it is small. Like, compare this to how massive the original Rubicon case is. So a lot smaller. Novak adapters, makes an adapter to mate this to the NV3550 transmission, and can clock it any direction you want. Can be twin sticked, so that means you can engage the low and high range independent of the front and rear axles. So you actually can disengage your rear axle or your front axle, or just engage one or the other and engage either in low range. So you can have like two-wheel drive low range and not have the front axle locked in a low range if you ever need that for whatever reason. So pretty stoked to have that finally. I can get the adapter ordered because I was waiting to find out what spline the input gear was, and I can get that mated up and then get everything slung up in the bus and think about getting drive shafts made once there's some axles hung in there. So really been waiting on this. All right, y'all, that'll wrap it up for today. Pretty stoked to see those poking out the nose. Pretty stoked to see a frame on this thing. So appreciate everybody watching, and tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell the people you hate. And I guess that's about all that I got for you. So till next time, catch you later.